Hey, thanks, Tiffany. Well, welcome everybody to the continuation of our 2020 rules training. This session is for Team Tech. We've had mine rescue training yesterday, and we're going to be doing the bench this afternoon. We did first aid just before this. One announcement, we're going to be continuing the metal non-metal mine rescue training on Monday at 1 o'clock. Monday the 21st. So if you're interested in seeing that, please tune into that. We'll be sending out invitations to that soon, and notifications. Please fill out the rosters and send them into Stephanie Mead, and she'll be collecting those and keeping a record. If you're a judge, you're going to need that so that we can prove that you were trained, and you can go refer to that later on if you need to. Want to thank everybody that's helped out on all these rules. These rules have been going on for about 2 years now, and these are the unified rules today. I want to definitely want to thank Tiffany for the website. Stephanie's done a tremendous amount of work on getting these rules together over to Tiffany and getting them on the website. And also she's going to be on the line today and operating the web to show the rules as you're seeing them now. Also want to thank Ling Self and Mac Wright at the Academy. Also want to thank Tim Watkins and Brian Thompson for their help in getting this together too. I want to thank the advisory committee co-chairs, Kenny Murray, Sammy Linville, and all the people that worked on the various committees. And with that, I'd like to turn that over to Kenny to say a few words, and then we'll start the rules training.
Hey, thank you, Jeff. And like I said, this may become repetitive, but I don't want to miss anybody. Thank you so much, you guys and the ladies, for your continued support of the nation's mine rescue program. It's of the utmost importance to our team members that we provide the best training minutes that we can provide. I mean, it's been tough the last couple of years, even getting our teams assembled into one group, so we have to make every minute count. And what you've done here is expanded their knowledge of taking air readings, collecting bottle samples, utilizing the equipment for gas testing and things of that nature. And this is new for Cole. You know, we probably needed this a long time ago, but we're excited to participate. This is the first ever Team Tech event at a national contest. So we're, like I said, we're excited to be a part of it. We're fortunate that we had guys and ladies that were dug in and dedicated to drafting these rules. Enormous amount of time was spent in the process, and to make it even more challenging, it was all done via virtual meetings. There were no face-to-face meetings during this whole process. So we think we have a quality product here. Just like in the first aid, there's a set of Q&As that support the actual rules document. And both of these documents are posted on MSHA's website as well as Holmes Mine Rescue Association website. So like I said, the move forward in 2022, you'll have the actual base document for the rules, and it'll be supported by the Q&As this year. So there shouldn't be any local interpretations of any of these rules. If there's a point where you need clarification at a local contest, those scenarios or questions should be routed down to the national committee that will be presenting the rules today. And the rules that we have are intended to be used at the national contest as well as any local contest this year. They are the 2022 rules, and they'll move forward through the entire season. After the national contest, we'll take another look, and the hopes are to take any Q&As or any other scenarios that come up this year and roll them into the 2023 rules moving forward. So hopefully next year, this time, we'll be starting the 2023 season with only a rules document and no Q&As. But like I say, just keep in mind this year, the Q&As do support the rules document. So with that, I'll introduce the guys that have done the work here on the coal side. And if Sammy's on, he can do the same. But the co-chairman on the coal side is Chris Williams, and he's supported by Terry Figley, Jeff Clark, and Corey Baker. And the key official from MSHA on the coal side is Craig Plumley. So those guys, in conjunction with their metal, non-metal counterparts, have done an exceptional job of putting together a contest that never existed up until now. So, Sammy, if you're on here, I'll turn it over to you.
Guess not.
Okay. Kenny, this is Craig Plumley. I'm going to be doing the training, so I'll jump in here for Sammy. The fellas on the metal non-metal subcommittee, we had Clancy Harmon was the co-chairman, Scott Fountain, Kirk Cooley, Mark Long, and with MSHA, Kevin Abel. So all these guys did a good job on getting all this stuff to put together. And unless you've got something to add, Kenny, I'm going to go ahead and proceed into the rules training.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Craig. And those last names weren't nearly as difficult as the last names for the first aid committee.
Exactly.
Thanks, Craig. Appreciate it, buddy.
All right. Well, as Kenny said, this Team Tech is a new competition. You know, it's you had some variation of it in metal non-metal, but especially to coal, it's completely new. And this version of this Team Tech is completely new with new rules and new processes. So rather than touching on all rules, I have went through this set of rules and kind of touched on the highlights. And as we go through, you got questions on some of the things that I may not bring up, you can stop me and we'll discuss it. Hopefully you can see the screen well. We'll start with the first page, and I've highlighted this version I have just to touch on the things that I wanted to bring up. First of all, this primary disciplines of this 2022 contest are to properly prepare, repair, and calibrate a multi-gas detector and to take air readings. So basically the concept of this event is going to be taking an instrument, a multi-gas detector, being able to break it down, being able to find bugs in it, repair it, get it back up to calibration, and have it ready to run for a team that's going to be using the instrument in mine rescue. The air management's going to be involved, taking some air readings with anemometer and smoke tubes and magnehelic, and taking air measurements and air quality measurements as well with your instrumentation. So that's the crux of the contest itself. There'll be two competitors that they can work together or be separate. Those two will come from the 8-man mine rescue team, and you can have more than one team doing the team technician contest. But if you do have to designate which one you want to be used with your combination team. Overview of the gas detectors. You'll be expected to evaluate the instrument and repair all the deficiencies and properly calibrate or bump test the instrument and check for proper action alarm level set points. There'll be a unknown mixture of gases as well that the contest will provide, and Each team will be expected to have a gas detector themselves that they bring to the field and use that to check this unknown mixture of gas to check for O2, CH4, CO, and NO2. The air measurement portion will consist, again, as I've mentioned, using anemometer, magnehelic, and smoke tubes. We'll go a little deeper in this as we go into the rules here. Again, in the general rules, a team will consist of 2 members pulled from the 8-person mine rescue team. You'll designate which of these teams you'll want to be the representative for your combination award if you have more than one team. I do want to point out that if you have more than one team, each team will be competing for their ranking in the event. So you could have a team that wins the team tech competition and not be a member of the combination award. Rule 8, the technician team will declare which specific multi-gas detector will be used by the team during working the problem. You'll do that. You'll designate that gas detector at registration.
Hey, Craig, one thing about the combination, the coal group has decided to only use the mine rescue and the first aid for their combination. So I think metal is going to continue with the team tech, but just to note there, that would be a metal designation only.
Okay, glad you brought that up. I wasn't aware of that.
Yep.
Number 9, again, the teams may work together as a team, or they can separate and break up, and one do the bumping the instrument, and the other can be doing the air readings. Just for judges' sake, I will remind you that when you're on the field, need to work that out before the competition starts, that if the 2 contestants separate, to decide which judge is going to go with which member. Just as other contests, the contestants will be dressed uniformly with a team number and hard hat and permissible cap lamp. The item 13, the technician team will provide at least 1 multi-gas instrument, 1 anemometer, 1 magnehelic gauge, and a smoke tube set with aspirator bulbs. Contest will be a 30-minute competition and a 5-minute warning before completion. They'll be scored based on discounts that include for items that are missed, appropriate discounts for necessary actions not taken by the technician team to complete the assigned task. And we'll look at those a little deeper as we go into each event, each portion of the event. Most of the items for judging and appeals are similar to other contests. I did point out that if there's an unplanned deficiency, when you're benching the multi-gas detector, and the judge will stop the clock and instruct the technician team to turn their back so that the unplanned deficiency can be corrected, and then they'll restart the clock once they've got it corrected. Similar to other events. Looking at the
I've got a question.
Okay.
We've got, you said that we're gonna have to say which gas detector we're gonna use when that when at the start of the contest. On the bench, they've got it separated out between Biopack and Gregor. Are we gonna do the same thing on the team tech?
Yes, you'll have a designation as to which one you're going to use. So if you say you're going to use a MX6 hybrid, that's what you'll have at the station. The
Right,
bench.
but I mean, as far as the contest goes, is it separated out for the trophies and stuff?
Mm, not that I'm aware of. I'm on the written examination. The first item, you'll consist of each of the two team members will take the exam. It'll consist of 15 multiple choice questions. Those are taken from the review questions and the glossaries of the Module 2 and Module 3 out of that draft IG 115. Find those on the website, the IMSHA website, as well as questions that will be taken from the checking and testing procedures for either the Draeger 8000 or the MX6 hybrid. So those again would be designated at the time of registration. So if you're doing an MX6 hybrid, you're not going to have any questions about the Draeger on your multiple choice questions. So the problem designer will probably have two sets of questions depending on what unit you're going to use. It'll be 20 minutes to take the test. As other contests go, you can't take any written materials in, or no wireless communication will be allowed to go in there when you take the test. This is just a typical field setup. As you see in the top right, it's going to be basically intersection of a mine rescue field. The arrow direction is going to be given, say, on a arrow in the floor. That would be an area where you would take your measurements for the site dimensions for your calculating area, and where you would take your air measurements, simulating with an anemometer and smoke tube. That northern entry will have a table for multi-gas instrument. That's where you would bench the instrument. Another table for doing your air calculations, and say that southern entry is not shown with stopping, but you may see a stopping with a door in it or a regulator, where you could simulate using a magnahelic through that entry. In determining the area, the contestant will be given an area to take the measurements, and you'll simulate taking the measurements. And for consistency, the judges will hand the contestant the dimensions that they want you to use for your calculations. Looking at pages is page 8 for multi-gas detector general rules. When they come out to the field, the team will find supplies and equipment that's needed to perform the multi-gas instrument portion of the contest. And again, if you select the hybrid that you're going to bench, then they'll have the hybrid there available, along with the tools and supplies that you need to be able to bench that unit. Rule 3, the multi-gas instrument given to the technician team will have may have multiple bugs or problems, and it gives it's not all inclusive, but you could have missing sensors or miscalibrated sensors, dead or incorrect batteries, missing parts, defective parts. So that will be part of the problem design, is the bugs that are going to be in the unit. The technician team will be expected to evaluate the instrument, repair all the deficiencies, properly calibrate or functionally bump test the instrument, and check for proper action level alarm set points. And then another aspect of the multi-gas detector will be a unknown mixture of gas. So at the designated multi-gas instrument contest location, the team will find a gas box. It's typically going to be a gas cylinder and tubing containing an unknown mixture of gases. Each mine rescue team will need to provide their own multi-gas instrument and calibration hood, and will be expected to report all required concentrations within the acceptable limits for O2, CH4, CO, and NO2. So the team will come to the field with their own unit that you're going to use to take a gas reading and record the results that you get. Here's some of the discounts and the I guess the limits for the air measure. Yeah, go ahead.
In code, we are not required and don't use NO2 sensors. Do I need to have NO2 sensors installed in our detectors?
Yes, for this contest, you'll need an NO2 sensor in the unit. So item 7, there's a 20-point discount per alarm point for incorrectly set alarms. 20-point discount for incorrect procedures or equipment that's used during calibration. 15-point discount for each incorrect gas concentration that's identified when the team's instrument when you subject it to that unknown gas. And here's the ranges for oxygen. It's plus or minus 0.5%. Methane's going to be within 0.2% plus or minus. Carbon monoxide within 10% plus or minus, and nitrogen dioxide within plus or minus 3 parts per million. There'll be a 5-point discount for each deficiency or bug that's not corrected. And end result, the unit that's benched is to leave it in a ready to use condition. And there's a 5-point discount if you're not able to do that. Ready for use, there's a notation that that means to leave it on with the peaks cleared. So the idea is that you're getting this unit ready for the mine rescue team to use underground. It's also you know, the I guess part of the problem design, the contest will have a unit, not a unit, but a typically a gas cylinder that will have a unknown mixture of gas, and so they'll have the nominal amount of mixture that they'll have to provide to the judges, and then from that's what the judges will use to compare with what these oxygen, methane, CO, and NO2 readings are. This is page 10 here is the MX6 hybrid checking and testing instructions. Point that out that the questions and answers imply that this page will be where some of your multiple choice questions can come from if you're going to be using an MX6. So you could have some questions drawn from this page. And as well as the following page 11, the Draeger 8000, if someone's using that unit, questions can be drawn from this page as well. There is a,
This Ridgeway, how is it that we're using the Draeger?
depends on if it's IMSHA approved. As you see,
Right. So until it gets that approval, though, it won't be in the contest, correct?
correct. So there's a error calculation worksheet. This will be provided to the contestants so that they've got a way of documenting their error readings and their area calculations, smoke tube readings. That's pretty straightforward where you document the reading. So this would be something that you would need to put in the packet for each contestant. There's a location for anemometer readings and magnehelic gauge readings. Error measurement, general rules for the anemometer. Here's a list and picture of the items that the contestants will provide. They got to provide an anemometer, a tape measure, pen or pencil, a timing device, and they may bring a simple calculator or do it longhand. That's up to them. And they may provide a wand extension for the anemometer to just recommend it for a more accurate reading using the wand extension. So the contestant will be required to take air readings with the anemometer. They'll simulate the reading. The judge, after they have taken their measurement for 60 seconds, will then provide the face of the anemometer to the contestant so that they can read what the measurement should be. And as well, part of the rule is to give a brief description of the anemometer, how to zero it, how to turn it on, how it functions. And the rules give a brief description of the anemometer and how to use it. I noticed several of the questions in the Q&As questioned what type of anemometer was to be used. And as you can see from the photos of what's intended to use, it's a vane anemometer. Contestants will take a measurement of the area to be tested so you can calculate your CFM. The contestant will simulate the measurements, and then the judge will provide them the dimensions, the height and width, so that the contestant can calculate his area. That's so we'll have consistency with all the contestants.
Are we gonna be able to use a digital anemometer or the digital vane anemometer?
This is what's intended to be used at the contest as a vane anemometer, as it shows here.
So it has to be mechanical. We can't use digital.
Correct.
I don't know why you couldn't use the digital, because they're going to give you the reading anyway. As long as you're demonstrating or telling how to make digital or analog that.
I mean, I
Well,
would
just
think the digital would be more accurate, and you wouldn't have it'd have all the readings for you on it, so it'd be the same, I would think. This is a part of the contest we've never had to really deal with, though, so this is all new to us. We've always done the gas. We've always done the gas detector on the metal, non-metal side, but we've never had to do the anemometer readings.
That's smoke in the room too.
Judge actually gives you the reading, so it doesn't matter how it reads it. You just got to calculate the correction.
for consistency, if you read the questions and answers, it addresses it, and it addresses as a vane anemometer. So the illustration given in the rules is what we have leaned on. So
I agree, Craig. It made it more uniform to go with the vein anemometer instead of there's several different digitals out there. So it's a traditional type anemometer, and plus it's the training uniform diagrams that Mac helped us put together is all with the vein. So it'll be equal for everybody.
Yeah. I'll reiterate too. I guess the intent of this is to try to make everyone familiar with what I guess some of the instrumentations that could be used in an emergency. And I know myself, I've been at some mine fires where we've taken instruments from IMSHA to go in and take measurements. I know I've done that in the past, so I could see in an event it'd be handy to. It would be important to be able to know how to use this type of instrument since that's pretty standard. So again, I feel like that's part of this learning process, I guess. And you will see the readings that you're given at the contest will be a typical face like is shown in the picture here. And then I'll add to the correction factors are in the rules as well. So that'll be something else that will need to be included in the packet that goes to the contestant. And here is that page. This is the correction chart that's to be used for the contest. Again, that just gives some consistency with each of the contestants. The smoke tubes, the contestants again will be required to bring a smoke tube and aspirating bulb with them to the field. We're not going to crack open those smoke tubes, but knowing how to use those and the process is again the intent of the contest. We've already mentioned about bringing a tape measure, pen and pencil, a timing device. You may bring a simple calculator. It's up to the team. Again, the rules give the procedures for doing the smoke tube, taking the measurements. I'm not going to go through each of those, but it does have some good descriptions and pictures to show how to take those readings. The contestant will verbally explain how smoke will be released and timed through each of the 4 quadrants. So they will need to simulate the smoke reading from each quadrant. And of course, it takes 2 people to be able to do an air measurement with smoke tubes. So one of the judges will be allowed to assist if the team has broken up and one member is doing the benching and of the instrument and the other is taking air readings. Then a judge can assist with taking the air measurement with smoke tube. So it's anticipated that you'll simulate the first quadrant, and the judge will give you the reading, what that time is after that time's expired. So a 10-second reading, he's going to give the reading to the contestant after 10 seconds, and then you're going to go to each of the 4 quadrants, just continuing that process. There again, that statement about for uniformity, the judge will give the team the travel time of the smoke for each quadrant. And in the rules on this page 19 gives you just the calculations that you go through to determine the smoke tube velocity at which you can take in the area to calculate your CFM. The Magna Helix The contestant will provide a Magnahelic gauge and hoses. Need to provide a tool for zero in the Magnahelic. Typically, it's going to be a screwdriver to be able to adjust that zero adjust screw there at the bottom. There. There's a low pressure port and a high pressure port.
Quick question. Do you have to measure every time you change quadrants or no?
Excuse me. Measure.
Yeah, do you have to measure out each quadrant or do you just use the same measurement that you did on the first one?
No, it will be from a set location. You'd measure out your distance first, and I believe it even, yeah. Measure off the 10-foot distance, and that would be the same for, because you're measuring from the same location. You're just trying to cover that cross sectional area. So the distance, the 10-foot distance, would be the same for each of the 4 quadrants. So you would not have to remeasure each time.
Thank you.
For the Magnahelic, for contest purposes, all the returns are going to be low pressure and the intakes will be high pressure, and the contestant will be given that information and their location to be tested. Judge will have a preset Magnahelic gauge or a picture of a preset Magnahelic gauge to simulate the correct reading. So you're basically going to simulate the use of a Magnahelic, hoses, and once you've set up and zeroed the thing and taken your reading, the judges will give you a set Magnahelic gauge to take the reading off of. And then the contestant will need to give and explain the proper reading of the Magnahelic to the judge, and give whether it's positive or negative pressure will be included as part of that explanation. As far as the rules go, I think that covers it. And again, I didn't want to bore you with each and every word of the rules, but I did want to hit the highlights. So now I guess if there's something I overlooked or didn't touch on that you would like some more explanation on, I'm open to anything that you got to say.
Hey, Craig, this is Russ from ODNR.
Yeah.
Hey, if we're gonna run a contest and by chance something would happen that Drager would get approved, do I gotta supply that for them for repair?
We intend to have a representative from, say, Drager for providing MX6 as well. So the benching would be similar to what we do for benching in of the apparatuses, that we would have a representative that would have it there to put the bugs in it and to maintain it and restore it, for each contestant. So that portion of the contest, I think we would have a representative there to take care of that.
Yeah, that would be for nationals. I'm talking about local contests.
Hey,
Well-
this is Kenny. I'm confident that if Drager got that thing approved by any contest date, if you contacted a representative from Drager, they'd be more than happy to come to the contest to help you guys with that portion of it.
Okay, that'll work.
Yeah, they've been waiting a long time for that thing, and if they get that thing out in the market, I'm sure they'd be from a marketing standpoint, if nothing else, they'd be happy to come to talk about it.
Okay,
Yeah.
we was just concerned if we would have to purchase those just so they could repair them.
No, and I said, this is Kenny Murray. Get a hold of me and I'll make that happen. I promise you. If that thing gets approved. Yeah.
That'll work. Thanks, Kenny.
Yes, sir.
I'll say just from the local contests I've been involved with, we've really never had any problems getting having a representative there with, to represent their equipment. They've usually been real good about supporting our contests. So I agree with Kenny. I think you'd have them fighting over who gets to come to your contest to demonstrate that thing. Any other questions, comments?
I got one on, this is Colton with Whip Blue. Number 11, what's the discounts for not wearing a hard hat and cap lamp?
Is it under general rules?
Yeah, it's under.
It's number 11 of the general rules here.
Page 3.
3. Okay.
Doesn't say.
There'd be a general discount, I'm sure, but is there some reason why somebody wouldn't?
I was gonna say that so is this staged? I know the guy with the anemometer is staging the underground on the MX6 side. Is that supposed to be staged in the underground too, or?
Yes. It'll all be staged in an intersection of an underground mine, like a fresh air base.
And one more, are they going to be allowed to bug both of the detectors on the MX6?
No, they'll bug the one that's available on the field, and you'll bring a MX6 of your own to the field. But no, it's not going to be bugged. It should be ready to use.
So that one will count for the bump test.
Yeah, that's the one you'll use to check the unknown gas.
Okay. That's all I got. Thank you.
Okay.
In the past, Craig, I know that they have, the representative always brings 2 detectors, and the one that we brought for the mystery gas was one of our own. So they always brought 2 detectors in that one of them had bugs, or both of them could have bugs. And they both had to be ready for use. And then the mystery gas was used on our detector to test our equipment.
Okay.
So you had 3 detectors that you were using there.
Yeah, that's at least the way these rules are written. It will just be the 2. It'll be the one that is brought to the field by the contestant, and that's what you'll use to check the unknown gas. The other unit will already be on the field when you come on the table, and probably have that representative there, and he'll have it bugged with things that you're gonna have to fix. So there'd be two units. But
Okay,
the contestant only bring one. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
I'll open up if Kevin Abel or Chris Williams, you got anything that you would like to add?
Craig, this is Kevin. I want to say thanks for you going through these, and this is all new, and for the metal guys that expected it to look exactly like the old tech team, it doesn't. And as far as some of the coal guys, it's going to be 100% new, but it's we wanted to make it new for both groups, and to where it wasn't just there's a crazy advantage for the metal teams. So I think that there's a little bit of something in this contest for everybody, and I'm sure that after we have a few of them, we'll probably re-examine a few things in it. But I thought that one went. I think it turned out pretty well for a first time.
Yeah. I appreciate everybody's hard work on it too. It's been a lot of work went into it. It's been a slack period. And I think, like Kevin said, it'll be a good for both sides. I think it'll be a learning experience for both sides. And I appreciate Kenny pushing it, and Mac. I tell you, Mac did a whole lot for us, helping us put a lot of this stuff together. So I think everybody did a good job on it, and hopefully it'll be a contest everybody can learn something from. I appreciate everybody's hard work.
Yeah, hey, Craig, and Kevin, nicely done, guys. Chris, this thing is going to be a positive addition for the training of these My Rescue team members. And it's like I said earlier, this is our first rodeo, whenever you call it the technician team contest. And the rules document that you have and the supplement of the Q&As is going to be important as we move through this initial season, I guess. Prime example was the question about the anemometer. It's like Craig mentioned, that is we want to prepare these guys for the real disaster. We're not training for a contest, we're training for a real deal. So the more realistic we can make it, the better training it'll be. We made a decision about the anemometer, and we supported that decision in the Q&As. It's addressed under, like Craig pointed out, number 5. So if there is a question of any of the rules, kind of look through the Q&As first, and if you don't find it, by all means, bring it up to the national committee, and we'll address it. We don't even, let alone declare that these are perfect. We've never tested them really at least not on a national stage, but it's definitely a work in progress. I'm sure it's going to be a great contest, and it's only going to get better as we move along. So appreciate the work everyone's done on these rules and this formulating this new event.
This is Jeff. Yeah, I want to echo Kenny's comments. Appreciate all the hard work that went into this, and want to thank the presenters today. Thanks, Craig and Kevins, for joining in. We have the training for bench at 2 p.m. today, so you're going to have to re-enter and log on to that particular website. But as far as things went today, I think it went excellent, and I think everyone will enjoy this contest. And thanks again for everybody for participating. See you at 2 o'clock.
Thank you, everyone. I'll end the recording now.